You're listening to the Focused and Fearless podcast. I'm your host, Heather Angel, and I've been helping people tune into what lights them up and increase their personal and professional performance for over a decade. Now I'm best known as a high-performance coach, helping entrepreneurs like you cut through the noise and create a business and life on your terms. If you're ready to step out of struggle and discover how simple it can be to create a fulfilling, joyful, and successful business without all the overwhelm and long hours, you're in the right place.
Hey gorgeous, this is a very honest, to the point and probably a little bit ranty pants episode all about money and wealth. It's going to be short, but I am also going to recommend, if you want to have a longer listen, if you want to have a longer podcast episode this week, go back to episode 31 where I interview my friend Dominique Mullally, who is the most incredible financial advisor. She is going to give some amazing strategies. She talks about the 7 numbers you need to know in your business to make sure you are actually generating wealth. So after you've listened to this, because this is going to be short, if you want to really dive into this topic a bit more, go back to episode 31 and listen to the interview I did with Dominique. So let's talk about wealth and money for a second. I need to just get this off my chest and make sure that you are fully hearing this. A lot of what you see online, for a start, is nonsense and lies and fabricated and made to make you believe that you are not doing enough, you don't have enough, you're missing an ingredient, and if only you had that person's program, lifestyle, figure, bank balance, then your life would be complete. Drives me crazy. It's the dark side of social media, but that is ultimately what happens. That ultimately is what so many of us are doing with our marketing, because we're sort of saying, hey, look, this is what I've created and you can try and create the same thing too. Now, I try really hard not to do that in my marketing, because I'm not trying to sell someone on having my life or having my lifestyle or doing things my way. My whole purpose is to help people find their own way so they can create the life they love in their own unique way. But it's out there. It's so out there. And this topic really came to a head because I've just purchased a car. And I thought at the time, I wonder if the car I've purchased is a Kia. It's just, it's not what I would class as an Instagram worthy car. No one's gonna be drooling over this. I can't even remember the model name off the top of my head. It's just a little white car and it's really cute and I'm really excited and I can't wait to get it. And I really love it. It makes me so happy. But my values are not the flashy materialistic things. You'll never see me with some super posh designer handbag. Don't care. You won't see me in a Range Rover disastrous cars because they're really expensive to maintain and I don't want that, quite frankly. So you'll never really see me splurge money on that kind of stuff anyway, but I could have. And this is the thing, when you are seeing stuff online, it's really easy to make assumptions and presumptions around how well that person's business is going. But if you are thinking that someone's business is going really well because they've purchased a really flash car, or because they've shared something on Instagram about their business doing really well, or they've shared something about a house they've purchased or anything like that, one thing I just want to get across to you is that it doesn't necessarily mean that they've generated the money for that from their business, not directly. Now, obviously, there are going to be some people that they will have a business and it will skyrocket. You've got people that, have floated their business on the markets and made billions. Okay, yes, their business has created insane amounts of wealth. However, most businesses, and I'm talking to you if you're, solo business owner, if you've just started up, if you're a coach or consultant, please remember that for a lot of those other people, those other coaches and things that you're looking at that are doing, apparently really, really well, their wealth, long-term wealth, has not just come from their business. The same as if you were listening to this and you're employed, you are not going to get long-term wealthy if you just have a really well-paid job. If you're not taking a percentage of that money and investing it into things that are going to grow you long-term wealth, you've just got money in the bank right now. That's all it is. So the reason I want to share this, and I'm being, I want to be completely honest, my coaching business is going really well. I'm really so lucky that it's survived this horrible pandemic. I'm very fortunate that I get a lot of my business through referrals. I don't have to do paid advertising or any of that jazz. So actually my business costs are very low. So as a business owner, I'm really happy right now. Actually, everything is ticking along very nicely. However, that is not where I have accumulated a majority of my wealth. I have investment property. I have dabbled around in cryptos, which has been super fun. I have smaller investments, and I recently sold a house. So that's where I've got some relatively good wealth, because I've obviously made money having a house for 10 years. It's gone up in value. That's accumulated me some money. It's not necessarily from the business. And the money I do have from the business, a percentage of that does go into longer term investments. At the moment, it is cryptos, and I'm having a blast playing around with those. And I'm not telling you to get cryptos. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take any of this as financial advice. Don't sue me. I'm just saying, be savvy when you are looking on social media, when you are reading those sales pages, when you're looking at other people's profiles, thinking, how the hell have they done that? What are they doing to generate that kind of lifestyle? It's not only going to be from the money that they've created in their business. If they're savvy business owners and they have generated real wealth, they have used that business money as leverage to create longer term wealth. Okay, so again, if you want to dive into this more, episode 31 is the episode for you, where I speak to Dominique and she goes into this in far more detail. But I just want to remind you that there's nothing missing from your life to start with, okay? You don't need any of this, flashy stuff that you're seeing on Instagram that's making you feel like you haven't done enough or aren't achieving enough. You are doing amazingly exactly where you are right now. And more will come if that's what you want, and you do the work and you become the person that is ready for that. But the wealth does not necessarily come from your business. You've got to get out of that employee mindset where you sort of go to work, get the money, and then that's the money you have. Go to work in your business. Go to work in your job. If you're listening to this and you're employed, go to work, get that money, and then make wise decisions with it. Use it on things, invest it in things that are going to grow your wealth potential. Save it. Okay? Get that compound interest. Refuse to be someone that goes solely for the instant gratification. If you can nail that, if you can actually take a big chunk out of the money that you're generating in your business and not buy the designer handbag and not buy, the flashy car, if you can actually, for maybe the next, 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 years, be really savvy with that money and invest it, love, you're going to be wealthier than you can ever imagine. Don't fall into the trap of buying expensive shit so you can share it on social media so you can make people think you're more successful than you are. All right, I'm just going to say it because that is what so many people are doing, and it does my head in. We see it all the time. You know it. I know it. We've all got people that we know that are sharing this amazing life online and blah, 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 and life's so great and blah, blah, blah. And we know full well that their life is falling apart, or actually that's not what they look like in the morning. They spent 20 minutes getting ready before they took that Instagram photo. Or actually, this is my one. Amount of times I share pictures of the kids and they're like, oh, you look like you've had such a great day. I'm like, oh my God, they're driving me crazy. We post these pictures and people make their own assumptions on them. Like, oh, you must be having such a lovely family time. I'm like, no, I'm desperate for them to get to bed. I'm exhausted. So, it's all these things. Stop buying into the lies, okay? There's so much nonsense out there. Focus on what you are working on. Focus on your business. But please, please remember that if you want to create long-term wealth, which you are absolutely deserving of, long-term wealth does not come purely from your income from your business. If you are relying solely on that, you are screwing yourself over from day one. From the minute you earn something, you need to be looking at how you're going to make that money work for you. All right? So listen to episode 31. We go into that in far more detail in that interview. But yeah, I just wanted to, social media is a bit of a pain, isn't it, sometimes? And we do get caught up in that comparisonitis trap. But honestly, if you are a coach or consultant or someone just starting out, please remember that real wealth is not necessarily coming from all these coaches and entrepreneurs that you're watching that are saying they're selling out all these programs, blah, 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 blah. For a start, they're not telling you the full story. They're telling you that they've had a 6-figure launch. It's like, great. Well, how much did you spend on ads? How much did you spend on this? So few entrepreneurs break it down fully, which I think is a real shame, because then you'd see the real truth. They're not necessarily funding that lifestyle just from the business they have. And remember, some people had businesses beforehand. Before my coaching business, I had a wedding business, which I built up and sold. That wasn't my intention. I thought I was going to be in it for the long haul, but a year in, I was like, nope, this isn't for me. So I built it up and sold it. So you never know what their other story was. A lot of people don't know that I had a wedding business before this. They just think I've always been a coach. So, I had a lot of contacts. I built up a really big network, which has really helped me thrive in the coaching industry because I had lots of people saying nice things about me, basically. And that's helped me build my business because my reputation is actually really good. So, that's not necessarily seen, is it? So just remember, wealth creation is built in so many different ways. And wherever you are right now, you can start thinking a little bit more savvy about where you're putting your money, what's important. Hold off from buying the Louis Vuitton for now because that's not going to do you any good. If you think buying that and sharing it on Instagram is going to make you more successful, then just don't do it, all right? Pop some money into an investment, put it in a savings bond, do something with it to start growing your wealth so that in maybe 10 years, you are sitting on a nice little nest egg, giving you that financial security and maybe even financial freedom. Okay? So go and listen to episode 31 if you want to go into this more, but just remember, everything you see online is not necessarily the truth. All right, gorgeous. Have a really good week.
Thank you for listening to the Focused and Fearless podcast. If you'd like to continue the conversation or have a question that you would like answered in an upcoming episode, head over to Instagram and connect with me at Heather Angel Coaching. If you enjoy this podcast, please share your thoughts in a review on iTunes. I truly value your feedback and I take the time to read every single review. Have a beautiful week and I'll see you in the next episode.